I'm here with Ken Harvey, former Washington Redskin, here at the 2014 Watkins Award banquet. I want to talk about this prestigious event. What does American male athlete and what it's kind of meant over the years, because it's to the masses, it's kind of depreciated in value somewhat.
Well, you know what? I mean, I think you said it right. It's I've never really actually heard of this, and as a father now, and just looking back on your life, you said, man, we need to recognize the good things. We need to recognize athletes who are not just athletes but student athletes. We need to recognize people who are doing things in the community. And we need to celebrate that, because when you start doing that, it gives the next generation saying, oh, I want to be like that. And so I think this is really important, especially in our communities, because sometimes all we do see are one-dimensional things. You see the great athlete, but you never see the great business person. You see the great community guy, but you never see some of the great family guy. You never see all the pieces put together. And this is kind of the springboard of putting all the pieces together and saying we notice and we want to recognize and celebrate that.
Right, I definitely agree. Looking at, I got a chance. I'm learning about the Watkins Award, this weekend. Got a chance to look at the prestigious winners over the past years. What do you think about those type of, those young men? A lot of people, we know Jameis Winston for the Heisman. Right. He was a Watkins Award finalist.
Right, and I think, the more success beyond, just this award, and I say just this award, if it just stopped here, that in itself would be good enough. But you see guys going beyond that and being successful. So now you got a generation growing up and saying, oh, I want to be like that, and that's what we need, is to say, is for our young people to grow up and to say, you know what, I need to be like that, not just an athlete, which there's nothing wrong with being an athlete. I mean, be the best you can at what you're doing, but to also know that there are other qualities that these guys have, and so I think it's important that follow along those footsteps, follow along those paths, and sometimes ask questions and either make decisions that may be something they've done or stay away from something. It's a bad decision is only bad if you don't learn from it. So that's about it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harvey.
No problem. My pleasure.
Deion Williams, Watkins Award finalist of 2012. How you doing today, Deion?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
I understand you play for Duke University. What position did you play now?
I play linebacker. I played defensive end, but they moved me up because I thought I had a knack for it, an ability for it. So,
all right, and just being here in D.C. this weekend, I mean, what does the Watkins Award mean to you, and what did it mean to you as being a finalist 2 years ago?
The Watkins Award, to me, it really signifies all that that the black community is trying to do to redefine, who we are and what we are as a race, as a culture. Often, we're pushed to the side and really compartmentalized and the things that we are allowed to do. But what the Watkins does, and being a part of the Watkins, what it does is it allows me to do and be whatever I want to be, which is where I need to be in life right now.
Now, pretty much being a standout at Duke, what message do you have for just the youth that's coming up and want to be inspiring athletes or aspiring track stars or anything having to do with sports? What message would you give them as you being already there at Duke University, established and being an athlete?
I would definitely tell you to listen to people who've done it, listen to people who've been there. The people above you always have great advice, and just to be yourself. If you go through trying to please everyone or trying to be someone you're not, you're not really putting your all into it. But if you're yourself and giving your 100%, you can't go wrong.
Now, as being a Watkins man, just explain to me, how does that change just your way of living and just your culture and just things that you do throughout the community?
It's a standard. You hold yourself to a higher standard. And so you're doing things that people who don't identify with these types of things, you're doing things that they don't do. You're helping people, across the street. You're taking that extra time to study. You're not going out as much because you understand, what it does for you and the amount of work it takes to be successful.
And lastly, we talked about you being an influence, but who influenced you growing up?
Just the very strong men around me, namely my my childhood coach. He was always there for me. Started showing me what it meant to be a man, and that's really important. That was really important for me growing up without a father. My mom did everything she could, but that's really what I needed, was a strong male figure, and the men in my life have done that for me.
All right, we're here with Deion Williams, 2012 Watkins Award finalist.
Standing here with NFL player Jelani Jenkins. Jelani, I want to say thank you for giving us your time. What does the Watkins Award mean to you?
It means a lot to me. Everything that it stands for is just everything I would want in my child and, any football player, athlete coming up behind me. Just the ability to be successful on the field, in the classroom, and in your community, it means a lot to me. So I come and support as much as I can. It's just a part of it being a family and everybody being allowed to, come together and, watch each other's back as we move forward is a great thing. So.
All right, speaking of, the togetherness, the brotherhood, so to speak, how do you think that, what do you think's happened to that stereotype, obviously, of not only the athlete, but specifically the African-American athlete, and how the Watkins is going about changing that?
Just the stereotype that we are just athletes and that all we can do is run the football. That's something that I think the Watkins Award tries to change and tries to, show examples of young student athletes who are able to do it both in the classroom and, like I said, in the community and help out and give back. So just the fact that this brother is able to stay together, even the high schoolers as they move forward into college, everybody stays connected, and then towards the NFL and NBA stays connected, and that's very strong. So.
Right, well, I want to say thank you very much. Did you have a favorite tonight? Is the who may win?
No, you'll find out soon. We're all winners, so somebody just holds the trophy and everybody comes together. And
very much, Jelani. Standing here with Michigan's starting quarterback Devin Gardner. We're here at the 2014 Watkins Award. Then is this your first time supporting the event?
No, this is my second year back. I came back last year.
Okay, well, obviously you know about the event. What does it mean to you, being that you're a young African-American athlete at that, in this time, which is what these kids are being rewarded for?
I mean, it's amazing, Technically, I don't think you should be rewarded for doing what you're supposed to do, but, it's nice to, you're recognized and you get a chance to see that there's other people just like you focus on the same goal.
Right. Well, obviously, with these kids, and especially for you, what was it like for you being able to balance the classroom, and who let you know that was just as important as what you did on the field?
It's pretty hard, but for me, I always thought that you shouldn't be a student athlete or athlete student. I feel like they should be synonymous together, and you should work hard at each of them equally. So my mom kind of pretty much instilled that in me and my high school coach. So that was a big deal for me.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gardner. I appreciate it. DC's legends, Lamont King, a.k.a. Lazy Lamont.
That's right.
But I asked you off camera, how many years have you been supporting this prestigious award? You told me you're a vet now, 7 years.
Yeah, I've been since I would say around 2006, 2007. I came to one of the banquets in L.A. and by way of my publicist, and I really enjoyed what it was about, and kind of worked my way into being MC for the next 4 dinners. So I was from 2007 to 2011. I was the MC, me and Claudia Jordan. So
okay,
I'm part of the family. So as when I found out they were here in DC, I was like, I got to come through, have to.
Well, since you're here and you've been here already, we had the opportunity to meet this past Friday on air. Mm-hmm. One of the things you're talking about, history. You're really into history. What do you think about these young men kind of, I don't want to say making history, but their impact on history and how it can change the young men to follow?
Well, in actuality, they are making history, because one of the things they used to floor me every banquet, every time I emceed the dinner, was the GPAs. Because, 1 year, all of them had 5.0s. And I didn't even know you could have a 5.0. And the dude that won had like a 4.9, and there was a guy that had a 5.1. And so that's to me, that's major, because we don't often think about black male and academic excellence, even though they're out there, and these guys are living proof of it, but they don't get the celebrity, they don't get the TV time. So I think this is a big deal for it to be, 25 years plus. I think it's a major deal, and my hats go off to all these guys for being able to run the ball and study, because I couldn't do either, and they doing both. So that's big. That's it's worthy. We gotta salute each other, and this is in its purest form, salutations to these young men and their achievements.
All right, so Jameis Winston was an award finalist here. He wins the Heisman. What do you think of nobody really knowing that this preceded the Heisman?
Right. This too. Well, I used to make a lot of jokes at the dinner, and I was saying how this was bigger than the Heisman. To me, this is like the high school Heisman. From a scholastic and athletic standpoint, this is it. This is the Black Heisman to me.
Right.
So him getting it, that's just another. That's like lightweight. By the time he got the Heisman, it was like, yeah. Have you seen the Watkins Trophy? I mean,
we haven't seen a trophy, but we've got to talk to the kids already, and the bios and the GPAs jump out to me. I normally look at a 40 time, like, oh my goodness, I'm looking at the GPAs, and I'm like.
But what I'm saying is the trophy kills the Heisman. The Heisman is a paperweight compared to this Watkins Trophy. That's a two-hander. You have to pick that up with two hands. So, when Jameis get the Heisman, that's probably why he had a smile on his face, because he already was a Watkins. You know what I'm saying? He like, oh, I did the Watkins Heisman. Yeah, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, this does precede it. And I think they're right on the doorstep of getting the national exposure that they deserve. Right on the doorstep. I think ESPN should be here today, too.
Well, that would be great. Yeah. That they'd be here. That's usually a great step into them. Stuff like that takes time.
Yeah.
And once unfortunately, it takes the right, coverage and network to pop on for everyone.
The right reason. Yeah. The and political market. I think over the next couple of years, all of us will hear more and more about it because it's in D.C.
Yeah, I felt slighted when I found out. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
I consider myself a pretty knowledgeable sports guy. Seeing that we have a show, follow sports, and I'm like, what's the Watkins Award? Then you get here today, you read up on it. How did I not know about it?
I mean, when I first got affiliated with it, and I saw the alumni, Shane Battier, LeVar Arrington, I was like, when was that? Ted Ginn Jr. Yeah.
I was reading the list today, and I'm just like,
that's a lot of people.
Players,
a lot of people. I never thought they was that good in school. Some of them, you know what I mean? So, but also, I wish I'd have known about it, because I would have applied.
Right.
Around that time, some years ago, I would have applied.
I go put a label on it, right?
Nah. There was a time I would have applied, but it's a big deal to me. So I'm just glad to be here. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lazy. I appreciate it. I'm here with former Florida State Noel, Myron Rolle, former NFL player at all. Most importantly, Rhodes Scholar.
Yes, sir.
And I think you're the perfect person to talk to, especially about this weekend regarding the excellence to both on and off the field. So what does the Watkins Award mean to you?
Well, it means totality of person. It really truly means that you're somebody who embodies the spirit of athleticism, academics, altruism, and you're progressive, you're forward-thinking, and you're around other like-minded men who are on the same journey in life. And when I won the award in 2006, I was a standard bearer for that year, and just, it truly transformed my trajectory in life. Now I'm living out some of the tenets that the Watkins Committee wanted to see out of me, and I love coming back every year to celebrate the new class that comes in.
All right. Speaking of, that trajectory, that may have changed. Remember, you went to, everyone's aware, you went to the NFL, then you went on to bigger and obviously, better things. But it's for these young men, what words of advice do you have? Because you didn't really, instead of falling back from not making it to the NFL, you continue to go upwards.
Yeah, I would always say that, the NFL is a great thing. Football is awesome. You can use it as a platform to reach the lives of young people. You can meet new people, you can travel, you can earn some capital for yourself. You can develop skills that are easily transferable to your life as a student and as a leader. So I would say continue to push your athleticism, do it as far as you can, but ultimately understand that your worth and your reach can be much more expanded by some other discipline, whether it be medicine, whether it be teaching, whether it be law enforcement, whether it be politics. Know that football is a temporary and transient game, that everyone's going to have to exit stage left soon, and you have to be ready for when the next chapter of your life comes, and you want to still be able to be a valuable member of the community once you're done playing. Don't let your worth be only defined by your helmet and how many tackles you can make. Do more.
Right. Today, talking with some of the finalists that are up for the award, we're talking about role models. Your name came up a couple of times. So I want to talk about what does that mean to you, especially with the stereotype that's on not just athletes, but specifically, African-American males these days that do play sports that we're not that intelligent, that notion, that narrative.
Yeah, it is a tremendous honor to be looked at as a role model for these young guys. I remember when I was in their shoes about 10 years ago or so, and it's fun. It's fun to see it. My daddy would put people like Paul Robeson and W.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington in front of me and let me know that these guys are people that you can emulate and try to inspire to be. And now that I guess I'm putting in that same conversation with these younger men, it's truly an honor. It's a blessing, and I would love to reach out to them and help and be a resource for them in any way possible. So it's really exciting.
All right, lastly, what exactly are you up to these days?
Well, I'm in medical school, first-year medical student at the Florida State University College of Medicine to be a neurosurgeon. And I got my master's degree at Oxford as a Rhodes Scholar in medical anthropology, which allows me to go to middle and low-income countries and help the medical infrastructure in those communities. So once I become a neurosurgeon, I would love to travel to different parts of the world and impact and help the people there by being an efficacious doctor on the ground. So I'm looking forward to healing people for a long time and being the best physician I could be.
I wish you continued success, and thank you very much.
Thanks.
Here with former Washington Redskin Lorenzo Alexander, currently of the Arizona Cardinals in my favorite division. Awesome. So we're here at the 2014 Watkins event. Obviously, we've been asking everybody. It means a lot to everyone, but what does it mean to you?
Well, I was a finalist in 2001. It was really the first time I was exposed to successful black people. And when I mean successful, I just mean like doctors, lawyers, things outside of the norm that I really didn't see growing up in the inner city of Oakland on a consistent basis. So it really broadened my box, opened me up to new avenues that I could pursue in my life. And then I also found out about other young men that were also passionate about education just as much as they were about their athletics and playing football. So it's been a great opportunity to get to meet people like Myron Rowe, Gerald McCoy, Justin Blaylock, and really form a bond outside of the football world, and just continue to help give back together collectively, in cities like this one and around the country.
Right. You were talking about some of your other peers in the NFL and about their intelligence level and how it's not really, magnified or made popular.
Right.
You talked about same weekend as the combine. It's interesting that you say that because it's kind of a meat market. We talk about everything, but what's up here. So what do you have to say to those young men that, looking up to this generation, your generation as well?
Well, obviously academics is very important, and it's actually a very important piece that needs to be implemented when you're playing football. I mean, to go out there and play inside linebacker, offensive line, safety, if you're able to operate with a high intelligence out there, dissect plays, understand what the other team is doing against you, you're definitely going to make more plays. You're going to be able to go out there and shine. So I definitely think organizations and coaches really appreciate a guy that's also cerebral and not just, athletic. And it also extends your career. You look at a guy like London Fletcher, they may have lost a step, in years 14, 15, but was still making plays. And why was that? Because he was so smart.
All right, so an event like this, talking about celebrating the success on and off the field, how do you think this is going to help those that still have that stereotype? How is it going to break that stereotype? Because I think these guys are off to a great start, especially looking at some of the former finalists.
Yeah, well, the big thing, obviously, is just exposing young men, young kids to men that have done it, that look like them, come from the same neighborhoods, just to show that there is evidence that you can achieve it. I think the second component of that is obviously reaching out to those people and being a resource to them so that we can help them through the process. Oftentimes you say, well, you can achieve it, look at him. Well, how do I get there? What support system do I have in place that's going to help me get through the hard times when I do stumble? So that's what we want to be. As individuals and collectively for young men to just be able to reach out, contact the Alliance, and so we can put them with a Myron Rowe, put them with a Justin Blaylock, and they can be their mentors and kind of help them through some of the issues that we also had growing up, and so that they don't make the same mistakes and can be even greater than what we are.
Well, thank you very much, and wish you continued success.
And I appreciate that.
I appreciate it.